Hey, what's up, guys? It's Nico from Porch Talk. I just wanted to tell you guys, hey, thank you so much for your support. Really goes a long way. Sorry to interrupt the episode at the beginning. I just want to let you know, if you could leave a rating and review specifically on iTunes, it really goes a long way. It really helps the channel grow. It really helps the podcast get to more people. And yeah, I love you all. Thank you so much for your support. I'm loving doing these episodes, and so is Marcus. And yeah, please rate, review on iTunes, and love you all. Enjoy. Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Nico.
And this is Marcus.
And welcome to Porch Talk.
Boom.
Episode 32.
Happy to be back, y'all.
Yeah, Marcus is here.
Yeah.
What we do today, Marcus?
We caught up a lot. Talked about some good stuff when it comes to this business and life. And talked about some cool things coming up in the future, too. Yeah.
Yeah, we got a pretty random episode today. It was definitely every which way. But, I mean, I hope you guys enjoy. Give it a good listen. Listen till the end, because I don't know if you know this, Marcus, but we are doing the follower / rating and review contest again.
Oh, yeah, I know.
It's going for
I listen.
It's going for a couple more episodes, and then we will throw the name into a random generator and see who wins the T-shirt. So, without further ado, enjoy.
But yeah, she's like everywhere. She was our first speaker that we had in last semester to the entrepreneurship club, and then this semester we brought her in into the club in February for ABBS, and that meeting was lit because we marketed it really well. We said we got a she's black, she's a veteran, she's an entrepreneur, she's from Dayton area, come on down, and everybody, like, for those meetings we get decent turnout, probably about like 20 or so people. This was like huge, like 90, probably almost 100 people came out to that one.
Oh man.
Yeah. And all it was, literally, she was just gonna talk about her life a little bit, let us all taste her sauce. She always carries around pretzels or like some kind of like snacky food like that you dip the sauce in. And God, it was lit. There's so many people there, man. Yeah.
So, what'd you learn from that whole event? What was like the biggest takeaway from that whole event for you?
I think I actually spoke about it on our podcast earlier. She was the one who imparted upon me that radical honesty thing. And she really talks about how that's a part of her self-drive. I was talking with her yesterday. Like, it's just a part of her self-drive that, like, she's always real with herself. She's always, like, thinking about things so objectively. And once you get in that mindset, you just go a million miles a minute and you don't stop. You just don't stop,
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm a big proponent of radical honesty.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
But, what's up, guys? It's Porch Talk.
Oh, wow. I thought you were just testing it.
Nah, we're going in on it, I guess.
Heck yeah, brother.
You went in, so I was like, all right, let's just keep recording.
Yeah. Porch Talk. I'm happy to be back. It's been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a minute, for sure.
I had a really serious health thing go on. I shared it a bit with you, but I never really told anybody what was really going on. Mostly because I still don't know what the root cause of it was. It was really bad. Basically, my sinuses were like collapsed. I've always had really bad allergies, but with this, my sinuses were like collapsed. Could not breathe through my nose at all, and from the friction of them like just touching each other, I had like bleeding going down the back of my throat. It was like steady. It started back in the fall. It wasn't that bad, but it like steadily got worse and worse and worse. And by February, I was waking up in the middle of the night with like blood in the back of my throat, like coughing like on that, and it got scary. So went to the doctor, and I've seen ENT specialists a couple of times. I've been in and out of my doctor's office. I'm going in for a CAT scan in about a week because they still don't know what's really going on. They've had me on steroids and antibacterials and like different stuff to like try to say, oh, is this what's going on? Is this what's going on? They don't know. The one thing though that was really scary is they found these non-cancerous polyps that were building up in the sinus cavity on my right side. That was really clogged, really filled up. And they did say, hey, they're non-cancerous, so it's not an issue, but there's something really crazy going on. And that's when we scheduled the MRI, excuse me, not the CAT scan.
Okay.
The MRI to figure out what the heck is going on.
So your sinuses were collapsing, or were they like inflamed to the point where there was no space left in the actual cavity?
Yeah. So, for my nose, it was inflamed, so like there was no space. That's typical like nasal congestion.
Yeah.
But my actual sinuses, when I was sleeping, especially, they would collapse.
Oh wow.
So, what that means is like the inner lining of it was just like coming together, like. I don't know. Think of like, it's basically like a baseball. Think of like the inside of the baseball.
Yeah.
Of like just that. It's just like the outside like leather with the stitching on it, but on the inside it's just nothing. Like a freaking black hole or something. Yeah, it was like that.
Oh wow.
And like it felt like somebody was just like pushing on my face, because you have a sinus cavity right around where your cheekbones are at, and then you have one that's basically behind your eyes, but like a little bit off to the side. So it literally felt like somebody was just pushing on my cheekbones on both sides and just pushing on my head, because it was just pressure, and it sucked.
Dude, that
sucked, man.
That's kind of fucking wild, though. Or freaking wild, sorry.
Yeah. Oh, well,
I don't know why.
You trying not to cuss?
Well, yeah. Just because if I'm consistent not cussing on the week that I don't have Caden, it's a lot less likely that I'll cuss when I have Caden.
Yeah.
So.
And that is really important, especially with all of our friends, all the people.
Yeah. And with how Caden can just instantly remember a word and just say it weeks later.
He's too smart.
Oh my god, the kid's way too smart. So what else has been happening with you, Marcus?
Semester's going all right, even though I had the health problem. I did have to drop a couple of classes, but I'm still on track. Most of my teachers were very understanding and everything like that. So, getting through there. I'm really hunkering down and working on these languages I'm trying to learn. So, I took 4 years of German in high school.
Yep.
Decided to take another class. And this summer my goal is to become, at the intermediate level, conversational German. I want to be able to just hold your everyday average conversation with a native German speaker.
Okay.
And then I'm also making some progress on Turkish. I want to get to the basic level, meaning like I know your various basic nouns, your pronouns, and then just basic language, how to count, child stuff.
Yeah.
So I feel like if I can get there over the summer, and then maybe if I take like a more structured Turkish class of some kind, maybe at the basic or intermediate level, wherever I can find it, then I don't know, probably this time next year I might have Turkish under my belt, because it's one of those, like, they have different categories of languages. Something like German is I think it's category 1 for English speakers. It's very similar, so it's very easy to pick up.
Yeah.
In like 6 months you can become like a pretty good German speaker if you really put your mind to it. In 3 months you can live in Germany. 6 months you can be like really, really good. So a language like Turkish, it's still more similar to English than like Japanese or Chinese.
Oh yeah.
They even switched to using English script about 100 years ago, but it's still like much more difficult than German. I think it's level 2 or 3. Then Arabic's probably like 3 or 4. That's the next one I'm going to learn after Turkish, and then Indonesian's after that, and that's the most difficult one that I'm going to learn. It's I'm pretty sure it's 4, but it might be 5. And this is for my whole foreign services officer career that I want to kick off once I graduate.
Yeah.
I'm going to be an extremely valuable person to the State Department if I know 4 languages, at least at the functional level.
Yeah.
But if I can get up to like that like really highly competent level, ooh, that opens so many more doors.
Oh, of course. And that's with a lot of jobs. If you know Spanish really well, that you're already like a lot better off. Like you have a better rapport for getting a job. as opposed to someone who doesn't necessarily know Spanish. Just because, especially in America, Spanish is all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
And then everybody we really interact with, it's either they know Spanish or they know English.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's valuable. It's definitely valuable to learn a different language, and I think it helps you learn better in general.
Yeah, yeah. You learn, you see these different insights just about language. It's kind of like English sentence structure. It's something that you don't really study unless you ever take like an English course, probably in college or maybe like a high level English course in high school. We just kind of intuit it. We know like where the subject and the verb and all these other things go in the sentence. But once you start studying another language, you then begin to understand and appreciate your language more.
Yeah.
With German, how like stuff will be flipped. It will confuse the heck out of you for a little while, but you get it eventually. Yeah, how like a lot of European languages they switch the subject verb position. Typically in English, we say Nico went to the store.
Mm-hmm.
They would say Nico store went, basically. Nico to the store went is how they would put the sentence. And it's very Yoda-ish. It's very odd, but it's, you then get to appreciate English because it's like, oh yeah, English is so awesome. It makes so much sense.
Yeah.
It's very straightforward. Like I heard this one comedian. He was talking about Japanese. He said, you know where that whole trope of like the old Japanese man, like after somebody says something, goes, oh. He said, you know where that whole trope came from? He said, because like the verb, like the very like important part of the sentence in Japanese or something like that, it's always the last thing that people say. So like, he told this stupid joke. He's like, I can't remember what the exact word. No, I can't remember the exact joke, so that's fine. But basically like the whole sentence was like sounding disgusting and like really messed up. But then like the last word was like something like that cleared up and like it was like important context for the rest of the sentence. So then like the Japanese guy was like, oh, and it was so funny. The whole crowd rolling. Oh man, but yeah, language is fun. I'm gonna travel a lot too, and it's gonna be so useful.
Yeah, no, especially for traveling a lot, it'll be useful as well. But I mean, what are some of your big goals that you're close to reaching to right now?
So, one big goal of mine, getting professional work has been a big goal for mine of mine lately. I get out to these networking events so much. I was just talking about this with my dad. With the club or with the clubs, I get around so much, and so many people in the community know me, whether they're working down at the Entrepreneur Center or they're just a small business owner, in Fairborn around campus, whatever have you. They know me, and they always ask like, "Hey, so you getting any internship or any co-op, any like thing like that?" They always ask these questions, and I'm like, I really spend my time, energy, and effort here with the club, and yeah, I learn stuff in my free time. But like I don't know how to put it, but they really like are expecting you as a college student, a junior in college. They're really expecting you, if you are, well spoken and active, to also be, a kid who's very professional in all aspects of their life. So like when I tell them, oh, I'm working at Kroger right now, or like back when I was working at Panera, they're like, oh, you're just doing like retail work, like what,
Yeah.
And it gets to you, but at the same time you should resist that when like people are kind of like trying to peer pressure you towards something. But at the same time, how they always talk about the top 5 people you spend your time with.
Yeah.
They're your biggest influencers. It's good on me to want to get into more professional work because I'm growing up, and maybe I shouldn't be working at Panera Bread with the high schoolers. Maybe let me think about that. And obviously, I want to go in the direction of professional work, but I felt kind of bad about myself for a little while. I'm like, yeah, man, they are right. Like, all my friends are doing professional work. Why haven't I? And then I kind of realized, I'm like, wait, I have all these people's numbers. Like, why don't I just call up somebody? Like, why don't I just holler at Charlene the next time I see her at the next networking event that's going to happen next week and be like, hey, so I heard you have some positions open, what's going on with that? And then one thing leads to another. A week later, you got an interview, and you're there. That's what I was talking about at the beginning. So yeah, I'm getting this sales demo job. It's gonna be super lit. I'm gonna be working pretty closely with an entrepreneur, somebody who's running the business. I'm gonna see all the high level stuff, and I'm gonna firsthand, and that's really important. So that when I get out of the so when I get out of the foreign service, man, I'm gonna feel like I'm really there, you know?
Yeah.
Like I'm thinking like about 5 to 7 years spending working with the foreign service. Then I really feel like I'm ready to take on the world, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I completely understand.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet, dude.
Thank you. What's been going on in Nico Land?
Well, big thing coming up Sunday. I turned 20. So, I turned 20 on Sunday. Yeah, May 5th. Cinco de Mayo.
Time is flying, man.
Oh, no, trust me. Time has been flying. I've been working on some stuff in the background that I don't necessarily want to announce yet. But we were talking about it off air. But let's just say I got a couple fun things that's going to happen in the near future. So that'll be exciting. And you know what? It's just been work, learning. Of course, I'm always studying and researching a bunch of shit. Actually, fun thing I just read on PubMed yesterday.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of the Herbalife products?
Negative.
It's like a weight loss supplement company. They sell a bunch of weight loss supplements. But either way, PubMed published an article saying that those supplements are causing fatal acute liver failure.
What?
To people. Yeah, I mean
Whoa.
Herbalife's been in the mix for a long ass time. I don't know exactly when they first started, but apparently there's this huge surge of products being sent to India because everybody's starting to get internet. They're started to be able to buy stuff and get it sent over to India, and a lot of people were buying those Herbalife products. And what the researchers found was there was heavy metal contaminants in the supplements, as well as pathological bacterial contaminants as well. So there's like technically diseases contaminated in the supplements.
God.
Not only that, there were psychotropic components or whatever. So a bunch of psychotics, that type of stuff.
You're kidding me.
And then the last thing was just some toxic compounds as well. So there's PubMed wrote this whole article about how it's causing acute liver failure, and it's became like a really like a public health concern across the world because of this whole India situation.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah, no, I mean,
sounds like you have metal, bacteria, toxins, and what was the third thing?
Psychotropic.
Yeah. So like you're getting high while you got metal and toxins that in your liver, and you're thinking like, ooh, I'm just trying to take a multivitamin, basically, right?
No, it's a weight loss supplement. I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no clue what's like the ingredients list that's in that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't think it's a vitamin per se. I think it's a legitimate weight loss supplement.
Got you. Okay. But yeah, like, I got a couple extra pounds on me. I think I might lose some, and then, dang, people are dying from this.
Yeah, well, it's said in the PubMed article, and of course, take every article with a grain of salt. You should do your own research. That was just something I stumbled upon when I was randomly researching random topics, like I like to do.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it was saying that there was fatal acute liver failure through taking the supplements.
You know, you mentioned heavy metal, and it's actually kind of interesting. That's something that they find. I mean, not often, but whenever you hear about this supplement, like particularly pills,
mm-hmm.
That's something that they often find in them. And what it is, as I understand, it's when they're like breaking the different materials down and they're cooking them. You know, sometimes depending on what types of material you're using to cook different parts of the pills, and condense them down and drain them of all their water, and then dry them out and get them into pill form. sometimes those materials can like rub off essentially, or as they're getting heated, parts of it flake off, and that's how stuff crap like that can get into the pills. And it's like, well, dang, don't we have like a more like isn't that avoidable? Like, don't we have like a better way of doing stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean,
it's scary because
it is definitely it. That's just a lack of problem solving at that point. If today we are still experiencing heavy metal contaminants, and if it's what you said, because I have no clue how heavy metal contaminants get into products. I'm assuming it's that as well. That's what I would assume.
Yeah. I mean, like that is a part of what I imagine. I only know that because I was talking with this dude the other day. He works in a candle factory, and that was something they always talked about. How like they have like these tools, like it's basically like a big old like circle saw. That they sometimes will have to like run across candles after they're done, like after they're done, like really even them out. And from time to time, they sample every company. They pull out some of their products to sample them and test them. Yeah. They say from time to time they'll find bits of metal on their candles, and obviously you don't want to inhale bits of metal while you're just trying to get like the aroma of whatever the candle is.
Yeah.
He said like you see this everywhere with people who like use like what is it very hot products and lots of metal containers. And when you're making candles, you melt the wax down, so it's hot product, metal containers. He says you see this a lot, and so you mentioned pills. I'm like, hey, that's right up that alley too. That might be how it gets in there, but
that would make sense to me. But yeah, so that was a fun one that I read yesterday, actually. But yeah, other than that, just got a couple projects I got going on. 20th birthday. I'm up to 10 tattoos now. Ooh. Last time you saw me, I think I was at like 6 or 7.
Really?
So yeah, I got 3 tattoos and
didn't I see you like the week before Easter, I think?
I had gotten 2. I got tattooed 2 times the Friday of Easter.
Okay.
I got a tattoo, I don't know, it was sometime after that. It was probably Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah, I remember you talking about it now. Yeah.
And I don't remember the exact time I got my 3rd tattoo, but yeah. I have...
Hit me, what are they? Yeah.
A video game character, Genji, from Overwatch, on my calf. I'll save the best for last. I have a song title and a band name, My Blood, the song My Blood from 21 Pilots. I have that written across my upper calf, where the knee joint is, basically.
Knee joint?
Yeah. And then my last tattoo that I got is on my butt. Let me explain the story, though.
Really?
Listen.
Okay.
Yeah. So, when I was getting this Genji tattoo, on my calf, my tattoo artist was live streaming it. And, I mean, I got a very heavily discounted price on this tattoo. Like, it was a very expensive tattoo. I got it for very cheap. And they were talking about how the last stream, they had a challenge where if they hit a donation goal, the highest bidder got to pick what tattoo someone got on their butt. I'm like, all right, it's like a $300 donation limit. I don't think they can reach it anyway. So I agreed to it. I was like, all right, go for it. If highest bidder can pick what they put on my butt. And it was like there was like one line left before the stream was over on my calf tattoo, and someone donated like $100.
You're kidding.
And that was to finish off the donation. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, this is stupid. So the highest bidder, his name was King of Soccer, his viewer name. Oh, not only that, it was a 2-for-1. So one of his tattoo artists was getting a tattoo of the highest bidder's choice on their butt.
Okay.
And he also picked out a tattoo for my butt as well. So the King of Soccer is his viewer name.
Okay.
He told the tattoo artist that was getting the butt tattoo that he wanted King of Soccer on her butt. It was a girl. And for me, he was like, Nico, I'll give you a soccer ball with a king's crown on it to put on your butt. So, I mean, I've been a soccer player my whole life, so I was like, that is probably the best case scenario other than them not reaching the donation goal. So
Yeah.
I will take it.
This is true. Yeah,
And yeah, it's probably, if you make your, I don't even know, it's probably about the size of,
like
a little bit smaller than my fist.
Okay, like a small orange.
Yeah, yeah, like a cutie or whatever.
This dude's got a cutie on his butt.
Yeah, soccer ball with
I
a
know.
crown.
I know.
But yeah, it's pretty funny. And I'm going in for a tattoo tomorrow,
Yeah.
and I'm getting 2 or 3 more tattoos throughout the rest of this week. So I'll probably have 13, 14.
Heck yeah, man.
And then after that, I'm done for a decent amount of time.
Yeah, you getting inked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to make sure my 20th birthday, I got a couple tattoos.
Yeah. Well, how about we try to get you to 20 by your 20th? How about that? Everybody donate money.
If you're paying,
I give everybody my Cash App. Just hey, everybody Cash App me money. We'll get to Nico 20. We'll get Nico to 20 tattoos by the time he turns 20. Oh man.
But yeah, that's been going on in my life, man.
Oh yeah. So you always talk about you researching and learning all this stuff. Like you're doing that all the time, as I understand it, man.
Yeah, usually a little bit every day.
What really drives you to do that?
Honestly, I think it's just because they're topics that interest me. That's really it. It's like I just want to learn more. I was just reading an article about it was the movement patterns when your knees cave in when you squat, and I've studied it because I had to study that to actually take my certification for personal training.
Yeah.
2 years ago, and I just wanted to get more in depth of what the actual functional deficiencies were, and I've learned a lot from that. So if your knees are caving in, you have a tight vastus medialis, which is the inside part of your thigh. You don't have good ankle mobility, so when you point your toes up, if you're standing, that's called dorsiflexion. And when you squat and you have poor dorsiflexion, your body compensates by buckling the knee in to get your body lower, because that's what you're trying to do. Your body just knows movement. It doesn't matter how they get that movement. When we're trying to do something correctly, like anatomically correct, and say we start fatiguing, a very easy example of this is the curl. You have a barbell, you're curling, and you're starting to fatigue, so your shoulders roll forward, and your shoulders are helping you up, and you're swinging the weight up.
Yeah.
So you're not using proper form. Yeah, that's probably the best way to describe how our body tries to get movement.
Okay.
Like tries to keep movement.
Okay, I think I see it. What you're saying, yeah.
So, and I was reading on how to fix this, and it's through a lot of ankle mobility drills, which I've studied pretty intensively as well, and a lot of foam rolling, stretching the inner thigh or the vastus medialis. So.
Yeah, you were telling me the other day that you do a mobility class, right?
Yeah, I do a free mobility class at my work, Fit Body Boot Camp, and it's completely free. You can come to it every single Sunday, no bono, no money needed. It's all free, and it's really working on fixing posture. We can fix chronic lower back pain through mobility, and overall it'll help you move better and more efficiently just in everyday life, as well as you'll get more out of your workouts if you do it consistently.
Yeah, that's good stuff, man. It's really good stuff.
I've been dedicating a lot of time and effort into learning everything I can about it. So, and actually, I'm taking my sports performance test. I'm shooting for Friday.
Ooh, wow.
So, well, it's more of I've had all the stuff done. I just need to schedule and take the test, and now I need to go back and review because I took so much time off, and that was me being lazy in regards to needing to get that test done, because I'm not a good test taker as it is, probably because I don't like taking tests. I mean, honestly.
Who does? lot of people. I mean, I don't think I've ever met a person who does enjoy it. It's one of those things that it's just naturally anxiety inducing.
That's true.
Yeah. Like even people who like being in front of a crowd, you know, like I personally love speaking. I like being in front of a crowd. I love it. It's still anxiety inducing, but like it's a part of the rush.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
But yeah.
And it definitely gets a lot less anxiety inducing as well.
You know, I gotta be honest. I think it's the opposite. Like
really,
I think with all things like fear, everything that's fear related, I think fear just exists. And I think what changes is you get braver. You know, I think that you grow to overcome it. Because, like, I like to use this example. Batman is actually still afraid of bats. Like, he never got over that fear. That's why it works for him. That's why he knows I'm dressed as a bat. I'm scary. Like he knows, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like to use that example because, like, it's like that, really. He's, you know, you never lose the fear. You become better. You become braver, you know?
Yeah.
And then, like I said, it adds to the thrill, like getting up in front of a stage or in front of I run some of our club meetings, for example. So like getting up in front of you know, people that you see them regularly, and even so there'll be a number of newcomers. Just like being able to, like, you really feel like, hey, I got the message across. I'm really trying to build this culture. We had a really good event today, you know. While we were doing this brainstorm, I really led it well. Look at all the stuff we have up here on the wall, you know. You really get to feel good about yourself, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
And especially with my job, I get random walk-ins. I get people that call the phones, and I mean, the first time I did it was very, very nerve-wracking, but it's just I definitely have gotten braver because I can get my point across. No stutters, no hiccups in general.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I effectively communicated that to the actual client to the point where they come in, they try it out, they buy a membership, and they stay with us. I mean, there's only been one, maybe two people throughout my whole time working at the new job, Fit Body Boot Camp, that I hadn't close them on a membership.
That's awesome.
Like, yeah, my closing rates, I think it's like 93 or 94%.
Yeah, man. And that's got to be especially difficult too, because like what percentage of people do you think come in and they don't really know how to do anything properly?
I would say probably 60% easy. Then you have a couple people who just are out of working out, have been out of working out for a minute, and need a motivator to actually work out. So they're more apt to at least learning quicker, or they may even know the movement entirely. So yeah, I would say about 60% don't really know what they're doing though. So
yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah. Oh man.
I mean, communication is probably the most important thing you can do. I mean, if you know how to effectively communicate to literally any person and be able to relate to what they are saying, I mean, you'll be golden with whatever job you want to do.
Absolutely. Yeah. You know, team players are the best people.
Yeah.
Team players, people who are really able to work well with other people. They're the frickin' best.
Not even just team players, just people that may not have the natural skill but have the work ethic.
Yeah, that's true as well. Yeah. You see that with engineers. Like, so I like this example because they're typically not even like a people, you know, like they're not each engineer isn't going to tell you that they're really a people person, but they definitely have the work ethic. You see it like clear as day, man. It's amazing. But yeah, I just like team players because if you've ever been a part of something and you feel like you are really like lugging a lot of weight, a disproportionate amount, and you look around and you don't see everybody else, you know, working as hard as you do, it gets to you eventually, you know?
Oh, yeah.
It really gets to you, but when other people see it before you see it, like if somebody else comes to you before you've figured out, like, hey, I'm really busting my butt here, no one else is. If somebody comes to you and tells you that, and they like try to support you or try to help you out, you feel freaking amazing.
Yeah.
And that's why I like the team player person. Because if you're ever working, you know, in a group, as we all do, you know, you're always going to be working in a group. If you're ever working with, you know, other people, and somebody comes to you and says that, like, it just makes your day. It makes you feel so much better.
I mean, not only that, we couldn't function as a group, whether it be a company, whether it be a team. We can't function without the team players.
Yeah, man.
If everybody's a all-star, I'm gonna do everything myself, there'll be no order. There'll be a lot of ego fighting. There'll be a lot of, oh, me, look at me, look what I did, look at me, give me the promotion, that type of thing.
Yeah.
Whereas the team players, they're setting up the plays. They're assisting you with what you need to do. They're backing you up. They're the glue to the popsicle stick structure.
Yeah.
Of said team.
I love that. That was nice. I like that. Yeah.
I came up with that one on the fly. I didn't even know what I was saying at first.
Popsicle stick structure. Okay, man. Yeah. So, how's Caden been?
He's been good. He's so big now. He's running around. He's speaking full sentences. He's been doing that for a while though, and he's definitely in the terrible twos. Definitely in the terrible twos. He can be a little.
He says no all the time, I bet.
Oh yeah, he says no. He's. And if anybody says a cuss word, he's on it. He's either saying it, or he's saying, "You said a bad word. Go in timeout." It's one of the two.
That's so cute.
And it's just a toss-up. You never know.
That's really cute.
But other than that, yeah, he's been doing good. He's definitely my son because he's been injuring himself all the time. He's just a replica of me, dude. Honestly, I don't think I ever shared this story about how I almost went blind in my left eye, but it was the first and only vacation I had ever went on. It was about we were on our second to last day on the beach. We were on a beach. I don't remember what beach it was. I was probably around 7 years old. It was a bright sunny day, blue sky, not a cloud anywhere in sight. I look out the window, see the beach, see all the people. And the day before that, my mom had got me a rubber band gun. We were taking a walk, strolling, checking out all the local shops alongside the beach, and I saw this dark or light wood rubber band gun. It was a rifle, and you could load multiple rubber bands to boom, 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 rapid fire, shoot it.
Mm-hmm.
And we were staying in for the morning because we did like a puzzle a day while we were on this vacation because my dad was super into puzzles at the time. And it was a puzzle of I think it was just of a landscape. I'm pretty sure it was of a landscape with trees in the foreground. There was a nice snowy mountain in the background, and there were birds. Either way, we were very close to finishing it, and me and my brothers were like, I just want to play some Lord of the Rings on the PS2. So I was waiting my turn because we only had 2 controllers. So I thought it would be a fantastic idea of loading 20 rubber bands at the same time into this rifle. I mean, why not? Kid thoughts, obviously. And the best way in my mind to do that was to stick the rubber band gun in between my legs and pull the rubber bands up to load it over top of the barrel. Well, when I was doing that, when I was pulling up, my legs opened up a bit and the gun slipped out from in between my legs, came up, hit me in my left eye. It was on the outside of my left eye. So if you're looking at me center, it's to the far left of my eye. It was still in the coloring area. So my eyes are brown. It was in the brown area. Instantly dropped to the floor, blood curdling scream. I mean, I've never seen anybody move as quick as my parents did to me. I was crying blood. My tears were bright red, just streaming down my face. My mom was holding a tissue to my eye, and we immediately everybody got in the car. We drove to the emergency room. They gave me a couple tests, gave me an eye test. I still had perfect vision somehow, and we're waiting in the little doctor's office, and the doctor walks in. He was like, "Yeah, it was either a centimeter or a millimeter to the right, I would have went blind in my left eye." And
jeez,
I don't know if you can still see it, but for the longest time, if you shined a black light on my eye, you could see where the gun had scooped the color part of my eye, and there's like a little dent in my eye.
Oh man.
Yeah, I had to put this medicine on my eye, and I'm really weird about touching my eyeball. But I had to put this medicine on my eye for, I don't remember how long it was, but it was a pretty decent amount of time. So
I remember when you guys came back with that rubber band gun, and
yeah,
your
we
mom
still have it.
You still have it?
Yeah.
I remember your mom like took it for a little while because she was probably
no. She broke the barrel off.
That's what it was. That's what it was. I remember she did something with it.
She broke the barrel off, so we couldn't load any rubber bands. So it was just like the hilt, and then there's a little divot where the actual barrel was. But yeah, I still have that thing. I think it's in my shed.
Heck yeah, man.
But if Caden does even a quarter as much damage I did to myself, that'd still be a lot of damage.
This is true.
I always hit my head. I was always the kid that got hurt, honestly, throughout growing up.
Was it you or was it Rocco that the Slimkers shot like point blank with the BB gun?
I think it was me.
Yeah, I remember Enzo was calling you the bulletproof monk.
Yes, it was me. It was me. Yeah.
That was hilarious.
That was a fun time. But I mean, that's all I can think about talking about today.
Yeah, man, it's really fun. I've been meaning to catch up with you, and even when I did see you, we saw each other like a couple of times.
A couple weeks ago with Cameron, and then you stayed the night that night.
Yeah, and
then some other time I don't remember.
Yeah, well, no, it was the same day. We basically
it was
did
the
whole
same day. Yeah,
that's what it was. But everybody else was around. We didn't have time to really catch up, even though we still had a blast. But yeah, man, been really itching to do this. So I have two things that I want to tell you about, and I want to share with our audience.
Yes.
They're both speakers. My my formerly frat friend, he's a graduate student at Wright State studying history. He has an amazing story that I'm not gonna spoil it too much.
Does his name start with C?
No. C?
Craig?
No, it's not Craig. It's not Craig. Craig doesn't go to school right now.
Oh.
His story is similar and also amazing. But no, this guy, he's you guys are gonna love speaking with him because he's kind of a goofball. He's the most prolific Snapchat I've ever seen in my life. But he's gonna be down to record sometime soon because his workload's really decreasing.
All right.
So there's that, and then also my friend, her name's Adrian Draper. If you live in Inglewood, Ohio, she's actually going to be running for city council.
Oh, that's pretty cool. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah. I love her. She's awesome. We talk about politics a lot together, so that's why she's one of my buddies. But she really cares about people, you know, and all of the stuff that she focuses on politically is like where government policy is doing hurt, and she's trying to fix it. Trying to switch around to where instead of some sort of policy affecting bad change on people's lives, really trying to fix it and turn around so it can do something good for them. But yeah, she said that she's down to do an interview.
Okay.
Sometime she's actually looking more towards like the fall, so that's on the horizon. But Matthew, he's ready to go.
All right. Cool. Cool. And
yeah,
actually, speaking of, I have a person that's actually in your grade. You know Cameron Seabrook?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's dropping an album soon, or an EP, and we've been talking, and he wants to get on the podcast as well. I need to message him here soon to
from soccer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you two play together? On
Yeah,
some
we
team?
played through high school together.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and I see him all the time. He's always at the gym, and I
For
talk
real?
to him. Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. So you mentioned Craig. Back in the day when I was running with it was me, Craig, Ezra, and Cameron. The four of us, we would all, or five of us, sorry, we would always run together. And I'm missing Lawrence Clark. That's what I was missing. We would lunch together all the time back in middle and high school. We had a ball. Oh man, we used to go out bowling from time to time. We would like get a whole bunch of our friends together and do a whole bowling thing. Oh, that was so much fun. I haven't really sat down with Cameron in almost like 2 years. Dang, it's been a long time. Yeah. Yeah, I'd love that. I'm really excited for that.
Yeah, dude. Well, I mean,
Yeah. Well, I've been Marcus,
I've been Nico.
and this was Porch Talk. Thanks for listening.